camera because we're looking down. Just like we're looking down. Everybody knows it's but we have a tendency to look at we're the speaker.
Officially live now.
If you're speaking, I would
All right. Well, for instructional purposes, we are live at Invictus 2. We got about 5 more minutes before showtime. Of course, you know what it is. This is our little chop it up session. And before we go live, just want to get some viewers in and make sure you tune in and whatnot, getting all of our audio together, getting all of our feeds right, making sure we are good. I see we got a couple people on already. Welcome to the Smoking Jacket broadcast unofficially. 8 o'clock, we'll welcome you officially. But if you are on right now and want to leave a comment, something, let me know you're there, let me know who's on, and we'll give you a shout out. But right now, we are coming live for the next 4 minutes before we go actual showtime. We go actually live before we introduce who we have with us. We're going to save that for actual showtime. Come on, leave a comment, leave a remark. Let me know you're on, and glad to have you. And we are looking forward to a great show.
Now we're extended.
All right.
Cigars.
Here we go. Good. Jay, how you doing, man? What's been going on with you, man?
What's been going on with me? I'm trying to defrost.
Wait a minute, man. What you mean trying to defrost? You up there in Miami?
Yeah, bro. Somebody up in your way sends that weather down here to us. It's unnecessary.
Well, look, to be honest, it couldn't have been no more than, about 60 degrees?
No, it was 43 degrees, bro, on Christmas.
Really? And you complaining?
Yes, I am. It was 57 degrees today, and I was complaining. Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Hey, Jay,
hey, listen. You know what I live in Florida for.
Jay, you're a punk.
That's fine. But I'm looking forward to Friday when this weather goes back to 82 degrees.
Wait a minute, guess what? And Friday we're gonna have 82-degree weather too.
So
Right.
How long? Hold on. How long it's gonna last though?
You.
That's okay, because Chris will be in Miami soon.
Yeah, that's right. Destination Herb. We coming.
I'm going too.
You going?
Yeah.
I'm coming too, man.
Nah, come on, man. Is that right? Hey,
so y'all going?
We going to Miami, bro.
Ain't lined up yet.
Destination Herb right there. Well, you know what, man? Come on. We got some arrangements. We'll fit you in. Yeah, Jay Fred's done rented an Airbnb for us, and we're waiting to get down there and do our thing. We got about 2 more minutes before showtime.
What was your Christmas Day temperature, Chris?
Man, 11 degrees. 11.
Come out the house?
I ain't had no choice. Had to go do my thing.
Yeah,
11 degrees.
Hey, let me tell you something, man. For the past 3 days, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't feel like doing nothing at all. Like nothing.
You don't have a choice. I looked at one point, it was like 8 degrees in the car on my phone.
Well, we got about 1 more minute before we officially open up, start the show. And we want to welcome those that are
if y'all notice, I'm indoors tonight, right?
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
What a hoodie on?
Well, look, we know you ain't smoking in the crib, so what you drinking on?
Nothing. You forgot, I'm not drinking for 6 months.
Oh, yeah. How's that going?
I'm good now. My body's already adjusted, so I'm used to it now. So it don't even bother me at all. Like I can be around people drinking, it don't bother me.
No eggnog for the holidays, nothing like that.
Nothing.
Well, you know what? It's 8 o'clock. You know how I am. I'm timely with this. Look here, I'd like to welcome everybody to the Smoking Jacket broadcast. I am Mr. Petworth, and you will hear this phrase from now on, Mr. Petworth, I will remain. All right. But we're not here for that right now. We're going to open up, officially welcome our guests and our host, Jake from Invictus 2. And we are live at Invictus 2 on this Monday evening, football Monday. Who's playing today, matter of fact?
I know that there's San Diego charges are playing. I do know that one team. That's it. I don't know who they're playing.
Okay, all right. Well, Jake, look, the way we do this, man, before we get started, I got to want to introduce my co-host. With me to my far left, I got Vanessa Puffin Pretty Terry. And Vanessa, what's going on in your world, man?
I just want to say happy holidays to everybody. It's not over yet. The day after Christmas, and people act like we didn't have a great day yesterday. So it was definitely a great Christmas. And this is our last show of the year, guys.
Last show. You know what? And
This is our last show.
Great
literally,
capsule. Great capsule.
yeah.
Yes,
Literally.
we're done it with a bang.
Looking,
Absolutely.
looking 2023, doing some things bigger, doing some things better. How was your Christmas?
It was great.
You good?
Spend time with the family, our usual shenanigans.
All right.
We start on Friday night, normally, before Christmas.
Okay.
And we have a big ugly sweater party. We didn't do it last year because of COVID.
You
So
didn't
we
take
came
your
back out
ugly
this
sweater
year.
off, did you?
Oh, this really, Chris? Oh, this is one of my favorite sweaters. It's fabulous.
Yeah, I hear you,
Well,
Trevor. Love
you-
slow.
You know what?
What?
You can go in on me because normally I'm going in on you. So that's fine.
That's right.
But
And
yeah,
guess what? And I got my tooth in today.
Oh,
That joke might come out in a little while because I really don't like smoking and drinking with it in there, but it's all good. I think the viewers used to that by now. I don't care, you know, if I don't mind, y'all shouldn't matter, right?
It's
That's
all
right.
before
It's all about you. It's all about you.
Jay
For
Furr,
this minute. All right.
what's going on in your world, man?
I'm just down here in cold, sunny South Florida, trying to defrost and getting ready for Destination Herc in about 3 weeks or so. Wrapping up these last minute details. You know, I got your Airbnb squared away today, so we got that out the way. And yeah, we excited, man. It's an exciting time for me. You know, going into year 2 of Destination Herc, man, and the support and the love that we've been getting has just been amazing. Appreciate everybody, all my DMV folks, my Atlanta folks, my Detroit folks, my Chicago folks, my LA folks, Oakland folks, everybody, man. I appreciate the love and support, man. I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys. Hey, are we doing the show while y'all down here? Are we going to do like a special?
Man, we definitely doing that.
Okay, cool. Hey, I went to find out about that.
Yeah, man. I'm, bringing the equipment. We got to do the vibe. Let them know what it is. Let them know what next year is gonna bring. And so, hey, we got to do that, man.
All right, for sure.
Looking forward to it. What else going on, man?
All in all, I'm good, bro. I'm just working, grinding, like I said, just making sure that all my T's across, I's are dot. So when everybody get here, we could have a flawless event and everything moves through smoothly, man. So that's all I'm on right now.
Did you make our dinner reservations?
Yes. Prime 1 foot. Come on, hey, if you need me to make them, I'll make them.
Nah, I'm gonna do it right now. We said 7 o'clock.
12. That's what it is.
So we'll do 7:30 on the 11th.
7:30 on the 11th.
Yeah, doing it right now.
That sounds good to me.
I'm multitasking.
Well, look here. I am Mr. Petworth, and some changes have been made in my life. No longer at Petworth Cigars, but gonna do my thing. Otherwise, you will hear this from now on, Mr. Petworth. I will remain because I am still Petworth. All right. Everything's been good in my world. Vanessa, Jay Furr, man, so glad to be over this hump with chemo. A little bit of setback, after surgery and whatnot. But everything is good. I think I talked to my man Jake, and he has some things about that you do with
Cancer survivors.
Yeah, cancer survivors, and I'm gonna rap to him about that later. But the last couple shows we did on men's health. Had a young lady on the show, Walker, to talk about her battle and with reconstructive surgery, breast cancer, etc. Great show. This show definitely is not all about cigars, but today we are getting back to cigars. visiting one of the premier lounges in the DMV. So excited. And to have with us Jake, what's your last name, man?
Jake Prater.
Jake Prater. And he is one of the proud owners of the new, improved, remodeled Invictus 2 right here in Waldorf, Maryland. And man, I thank you for welcoming us to the lounge and just opening the doors for me and Lanessa, the Smoking Jacket broadcast, me and the co-hosts to be able to come to your lounge and to be able to promote, reintroduce the lounge to our viewers, let them know what's going on, man. So if you don't mind, just introduce yourself to the viewers right now, and then I got some questions for you before I turn it over to Vanessa and to Jayford for some questions that they might have. And let's see what Invictus 2 has to offer as we're going to say the new lounge in the area. All right?
Okay. Right, so look, first of all, I want to say thank you. It's our pleasure to be able to welcome you to Invictus 2. And in doing that, I want to be able to say we appreciate what you do. We appreciate the platform. We appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come with us. Because as you know, during the holiday time frame, there's a lot of things you can do besides come down here to Invictus 2. But we do appreciate that. And again, my name is Jake Prater. I am a young man from Fort Valley, Georgia. I am retired out of the United States Air Force. And I currently work with one of the largest IT providers for the federal government now as a senior program manager. So being able to bring some of those skills and some of those background into Invictus 2 is kind of where we are.
Okay. Awesome. We appreciate you being here.
Well,
Because
definitely.
people really enjoy being in a practice.
Great.
And to know that it's back open, we don't want to see that this is fake. We want to see people flourish. So thank you for bringing that.
Hey, before I get to my questions, Jayford, I want to get a quick audio check from you, if you don't mind.
Can you hear me?
All right. No, I can hear you. I just want to know how we sounding on the other end.
Oh, you sounding good.
All right, that's good. That's good to know. Just want to make sure. And do me a favor, Vanessa, if you don't mind going to the page, just to add a comment to make sure you can comment. I had to restructure the broadcast to make sure that we could make a comment. And just want to see what's going on. But look here, I am Mr. Petworth, and we're going to do a little Q&A right now because I think some things need to be said as it pertains to the rebranding, the soft opening of Invictus 2. We're excited for them, wishing them the greatest success. But Jake, during this particular soft opening phase, and that's what this really is a soft opening phase. We haven't even really got to any grand opening yet, but during this soft opening phase, what have you and the other owners learned about the current patrons that have graced the lounge so far? And what is it that they like? What is it that they might want? What is it that they expect from Invictus 2?
So, like you mentioned in the soft opening, right? It's really about us being able to open the doors, work out all the kinks with regards to our POS system, make sure that our hostess and make sure our waiters and make sure our bartenders know and understand what our business model is and what we expect and plan on delivering to our patrons. And specifically, one of the biggest things that we've heard out of the patrons in the last 2 weeks is tied around. They really appreciate this being a true to form cigar lounge. Okay. And our expectation is to let that model remain because we are adamant that we do not want this to turn into a party atmosphere where you can smoke. We don't want this to be a bar where you can smoke. This is a cigar lounge. And we want to make sure that everybody recognizes that. And so our patrons have really said that over and over again. We appreciate the vibe. We appreciate the soft music. We appreciate the engagement. We appreciate the actual service that we are providing for us. And those are things that we want to stand on and make sure that people understand. Service is the biggest thing for us.
It's important, man. Sometimes the little things that you don't think matter to the patrons, and when they come in, what they expect, the customer service levels that you provide for them. So that's definitely important. I'm glad to hear that because it's one of the things that will definitely brand your name brand new vision of what you're trying to accomplish. So definitely appreciate hearing that. Speaking of soft opening, when is and what do you expect as a date for your grand opening?
Okay, so grand opening is going to be, tied around ribbon cutting. It's going to be tied around some of the local politicians here in the Charles County and Waldorf area, and it's also going to include just a really warm welcoming of people, the ribbon cutting and everything like that.
Okay.
So understanding that we're in the holiday phase where people are traveling, people are out of town, people want to kind of relax and not have a whole bunch of rip and roar and holler. We expect to have an opening in January. We're not solid on a date yet. We want to see if we can align with some of the local politicians in their schedule, because it's important for them to understand that not only are we providing a service in their county, but we're hiring local people. And we're making sure that we're paying our taxes and making sure that we are able to flourish here and make sure that as Charles County grows, everybody grows, right? One of the sayings that people always say is, when the tide comes in, all the ships rise, and we want to be part of that and make sure that people understand and know that when they come to Southern Maryland, they have a home here at Invictus 2, come in and relax and have a good time. And, obviously, have a good smoke, have a good libation, and enjoy the environment of what we consider to be, in the truest form, a cigar.
Yeah. Stan,
Chris, also the comments are not going to be coming. They're not coming through.
Okay. Yeah, I see that. I'll work that out. Just for those that are on right now, working some things out with our comments. I can't see them. I can see them on my page. I am on my page right now. So if you do comment, I will ask. Definitely, yeah. I will ask if you have any questions. I will relay them. And look, Glenn Hardy, I see you on. Kid Watts, appreciate you being on. Brand ambassador for Country Cigars. You got to look at getting those cigars in here, man. I'm connected with my man.
Yep.
So definitely, and moving on. It's been a long time since these doors have opened, and the buzz of Invictus 2 has been going around. And we know it's out in the street, it's there. One of the entities of this broadcast is to definitely bring the awareness to what's going on and what's happening. So with that being said, and with that that's going on, what were some of the hurdles that you came across in getting this open, and some of the things that you had to overcome to get it fully open?
Yeah. So obviously, the name Invictus 2,
right.
We made a conscious decision to look at cost-benefit analysis that's tied around remaining and keeping the Invictus name open. And in doing that, we knew that there were some things that we knew other than narrative.
Right.
And in addition to that, we want to we had to go through everything, right? The liquor license, the liquor board. We had to deal with the county to make sure that the inspections and everything were aligned well. And in doing that, it was a very long and arduous process, right? Between the county and everything that's associated with making sure that the place was legitimate and making sure that the place had everything that the county requested and required of us. In order to do that, we had to go several iterations with the county. We had to go several iterations with some of the specific vendors,
right.
Some of the specific county people that's associated with fire suppression, and making sure that we had the right fire suppression, making sure that fire sprinklers were within order, making sure that our water meters were within order, making sure that our alarm system, making sure that we had the proper fire extinguishers. And so those were a lot of things that tied to what looked like a lifetime to us, would wind up being about 10 months. And so within that 10-month time frame, we were able to work through all of those things. So right now, I feel safe, the other partners feel safe about welcoming people in, because we know that every check mark, every question, every detail that the county, the liquor board, we were able to meet those or exceed those in most cases.
Okay.
To us, that was huge for us. We wanted to make sure that we could welcome people through the doors and not worry about the fire breaking out because of some type of electrical issue. worry about whether the suppression system was going to work and then something goes like that. So one of those addicts that you want to make sure that get everything taken care of, to put that ease to the side so that we know that we can focus on making sure we provide customer service.
So definitely rebranding it from the old to now the new to make sure that some of the things that may have occurred in times past don't happen again, and that's good because we can expect these doors to stay open a long time. With that being said, some brothers have put their minds together and put a vision plan together to make sure the longevity of the lounge stays in place. So I applaud you on that. I got a couple more questions and I'm going to turn it over, but I just think that these questions off the break need to be answered. Rob, welcome to the broadcast, man. Appreciate you getting on, man.
Rob, how are you, sir?
All right, Big Rob. All right, man.
Pretty good, sir. How are you?
So,
thanks, man.
When you describe Invictus and you say Invictus 2, is a lounge for the cigar. Help me with that word again.
Virtuoso.
Virtuoso. All right. Yeah. What does that fully mean?
So for us, right, cigar virtuoso is someone that's a seasoned cigar smoker that understands, the depth of what a particular type of cigar is, that understands what the leaves are and where the actual tobacco is grown. Understand how to light a cigar, how to smoke a cigar, how to enjoy through a full cigar. Understand at the beginning it may be a little different profile as it is in the middle. And so those are the kind of customers that we really look for, right? We want someone that's going to be able to come in, be able to sit down and really understand, hey, I'm smoking drones and it's going to pair exceptionally well with a single malt scotch, or it's going to pair exceptionally well with a bourbon. And here we cater to that, making sure that we have the right type of glass, because we understand that if you're drinking a single malt, you want to sniff for something, you can get the full profile of the smell. That's going to pair very well with the drink. We also have flutes for the champagne. We also have cubed ice, as well as blocked ice, because that profile and everything that's associated with that we thought was important, right? The little things to us is what is going to be a differentiator for us.
I'm going to tell you, with all that you just said right there, with that vision, it'll go a long way because you have no idea. I know about certain things, man. Right. To my glass, to what it's poured into, and it goes a long way to know that this was not haphazardly thought out, and that you took every precaution to make sure that the cigar experience is enjoyed at Invictus 2. So that's important. I think that says a lot to the character and to the new vision of what these gentlemen have put in. And I applaud you on that. Two more, and I'm out the way. I'm going to turn it over to Lanessa. How do you plan to compete, if I may say? I don't like using that word. But how do you plan to compete with competitors?
Great question. I'm not sure that my answer is not tied around competing. My answer is tied around we want to provide an experience that's going to make a cigar virtuoso comfortable with coming in, the experience of the drink, the experience of the cigar, the experience of the environment, the experience of the music, the experience of our ventilation. It's going to make a repeat customer. So I think compete is the wrong word for us. We don't have a vision of competing with anyone. We want to stay in our lane. We want to carve out what the experience is going to be. And we want to be like, for lack of better words, we want to be like McDonald's. We want to sell consistency. So when you come in here, you should have an expectation of your first time coming in here, that same repeat experience every time you come. We've invested a lot in our ventilation. We've invested a lot in drinks. We've invested a lot in glasses, glassware. We've invested a lot in some of our bartenders, our very seasoned bartenders, and our experience with the hostess and being able to understand that. And one of the things about our hostess that we wanted to identify was we necessarily did not and have not looked for a hostess that's going to be able to come and do this is Nicaraguan, the leaf is growing here, the tobacco is growing here. We want someone that's going to be able to say, hey, these are the type of cigars that we offer. These are the profiles that come with these. These are the pairings that we've identified either through our distributors or our manufacturers or even people just like you, just our cigar virtuosos, right? And so that's really what it's about for us. And so again, I reiterate, I think competing is the wrong word for us. Our vision does not have us competing with anyone. Our business profile did not once say, here's how we're going to compete with someone else. Now, on the other hand, it did say how we're going to differentiate ourselves.
Right.
So that differentiation for us is those small, subtle things that really are going to help promote and make this the premier bar, the premier cigar lounge, that even from the novice up to the virtuoso is going to be able to come in and have a true experience.
My last question, man. What's the last thing that you want the viewers right now, those that are on, those that will view this broadcast later down the line? Like I said, normally we get about 600 views, so that's important. What is it that you want the viewers and the cigar smokers to know about Invictus 2?
So know that Invictus 2 is a brand new business with brand new owners, with a brand new business model, with a brand new approach to providing a premier cigar lounge so that people can really enjoy themselves, really understand and know about cigars, and have that experience to where they can be able to say, hey, have you tried Invictus 2? This place is this place is that, and this is what they plan to offer.
Okay.
And not statistically speaking, not Jake's statistics. These are statistics across the board. If someone has a bad experience, they tend to let 10 to 15 people know about that experience. Where on the other hand, if they have a great experience, they normally limit that down to 1 or 2 people. What we're trying to do here is to change that model, just flip it around just a little bit, so that when people come here and they enjoy the experience, right? The cigar is not sitting, the smoke is not sitting on them. You have the proper drink that is welcomed at the door. We offer a large variety of cigars, a large variety of libations, and so that they can use that and just say, hey, I really enjoyed my experience there. This is what I was expecting. This is what I got. And to help us continue to do that, that's a huge part of it. And, in this soft opening phase, we're asking a lot of questions. What did you like about the experience? And really, all of us are tough skinned, right? We want to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly things, right? Unfortunately, we've not had a whole bunch of bad things. There's been something that we've had, we haven't been able to have, and there's something tied to, why we didn't have something specific, right? You can't have every cigar, you can't have every libation, but if we have something that's in that range, we'll be able to get you in that direction.
One thing about this, man, and I know personally firsthand, it takes time to get there. Why you want to listen to every customer, you can't make every move that every customer suggests right off the break, because you will burn your resources, burn your money, trying to please everybody. But slow walking, man, take your time getting there, and it'll come. Because you're not gonna please everybody. This I know, but I think you're out to a good start, the right path, and man, I take my hat off to Lanessa.
So when we opened up, you mentioned that you also have another career besides this place. And I know that there's a careful balance involved in that.
Absolutely.
And you also mentioned partners.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about your partners, like their backgrounds, you guys' background in the industry?
Okay. So a couple of the partners that we have, primarily Eric Barnes, one of our partners. He's an educator. He is he's a community guy, upstanding guy. No real major concerns with anything with him. Not that there's major concern with any of the owners, right? A solid stand-up guy. He is actually on the liquor license with as well, with the board. And then the other partner is Arthur Mason. He's retired out of the United States Army. He's a veteran just like myself. Brings some of those kind of structured disciplines that you get in the military with him. We all three have different swim lanes, right? And we do that intentionally, right? That doesn't mean that we don't have the autonomy to challenge or question a decision that you make in your swim lane. We have our staff meetings, we have our owners meeting. But we did that intentionally because we want to make sure we weren't crossing over each other, right? Stepping over each other. I'm responsible for the cigars and for the liquor, and then if Mason's doing that as well, or Eric, and next thing you know, we bought too much of something or not enough of something because we didn't identify so much. And we all are part of everything making this happen, which is beginning to answer your question, right? I can't work a 40-hour-week job and then come to work 40 hours a week. So we have to hone in on specific areas and lock those down and make those things happen.
But is everybody here at some point in time, like actually working?
Yes, absolutely. Unfortunately, I'm young tonight, and I say that I say that loosely, right? Because they're out of town because of the holiday. It was planned, projected out, and so wanted to make sure we had full confidence.
Okay. And another thing I noticed is that you guys have one. She was walking by with you, right? And I saw it earlier. So how is that been able to your customers giving you feedback on that in terms of liking it or not liking it?
So the customers that ask for hookahs, obviously it's a great thing for them. And what we're finding is, despite there's a lot of females that are in the cigar community right now, I would consider them to be cigar virtuosos. There's still an ask or still a demand for having hookahs. So instead of having them separated, we decided to do that. So it's been working really well. Some people say that there could be a stigma associated with it, but I think the experience is going to exclude some of those things that may come with some stigma associated with it. You see me using my air quotes.
Right.
With this stigma that may be associated with it.
I think one of the things, and I'm glad you addressed that question, Vanessa. One of the things, it is a stigma, but again, if it works for your customer base, hookah is one of those intricacies in itself that it outweighs even the profit margin of cigars. So you got about a good 250 to 300% markup on hookah, and it'll help your bottom line. And again, if it's one of those things where your patrons are, as you fill it out and go along and down that road, if it works and it works, if it's not broke, don't try to fix it, because again, there's a lounge and the differences between lounges. If it works for it, it may not work elsewhere, but if it works here, I mean, it is what it is, man. And as long as people are enjoying themselves, as long as the cigar smokers that come here don't mind the hookah, my opinion on terms of hookah, as long as you got a mature crowd and not the audience that come, the younger that come in and disrupt things, and it's working. Hey, my hat's off to you, brother.
So that was one of the key. I'm sorry, that was one of the key things that we had to take into consideration. That was part of our model, saying, hey, look, there's a stigma associated with it. And all the stigma is not necessarily true, right? Again, right, if you put the environment in place, I think the environment is going to dictate what the audience is for that. And that's kind of where we are. It's kind of like, back in the day, they wouldn't let you in the club if you had on boots and blue, right? Because you had a different mindset. There's a different approach, there's a different thinking, right? Versus putting on a pair of slacks or about shoes.
Right.
It's a different mindset, a different approach. And that's kind of the way we look at it. We think the environment is going to shape our customer base and the target demographic.
I'm gonna get this question out the way, Jay Ferg, before I get to you. But one of our viewers, Eric Wheeler, says one of the previous concerns was the cigar selection, and how has that been addressed? Is it addressed? I think you spoke to it definitely, and where you have the ability to continue to expand on cigar selection and bringing in different brands both over the years.
Yeah, that's a great question. Especially with us now, the three owners, we neither one of us had a cigar lounge to kind of gauge that against, right? And understanding, we're fortunate enough to have, three of the primary manufacturers that we have accounts with, and then we also have distributors that we actually work with. And then later on, I think we're actually going to show the lounge, and you'll be able to see that we do have a much larger selection Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
I'm
we're working
on
on those.
definitely.
And you mentioned it with regards to catering to our base. We do have a sheet that we're able to get it. We will get it, and then we work through those whatever those are.
Yeah.
The key for us is making sure that we can provide the product that everyone's looking for. And look, there's going to be some of those areas where we just can't. Right? We had one box of the Bulls just last week. We were only able to get one box. I mean, literally one box. When I say one box, obviously,
Well,
that's 10
let me tell you this. You've accomplished what most people can accomplish. And getting just one box is a whole lot. So that's good.
So that's absolutely part of it.
Let me add to that. Because at the end of the day, and Eric, I definitely appreciate the question and respect it highly because it's most important. But you got to remember, this is not an old line. It's a new line. And the thing that comes with that is slow walking and getting accounts open. And the goal is to work towards it. I've spoke with Jake prior to this and vision and plan. And, as time permits, those things are going to happen. I know that I actually got confidence in that. And whatever, you might need help with, man, I can offer, some advice and getting, helping you get some things done more expeditiously. Because, again, we spoke about competition and just an outlook. We ought to be in not competition, but coalition, and to help the next line succeed in any way that it can. And really, that's what the Smoking Jacket broadcast is all about. That's been my motto as I go around to different lounges and, to present the lounges to our viewers and what they have to offer. I'm, definitely looking, forward to great things and great expectations that are on the table and the transparency that even you coming on this broadcast to let our viewers know what's down the pipe. And so hopefully this broadcast help you out. Jay Ferg, what you got, man?
So my question for you, Jay, is being that is this your first theory into like the cigar world in terms of being a cigar lounge owner? Like, what's your background in terms of being involved in cigars?
So just been smoking cigars, and then obviously frequenting all of the cigar lounges in the area. That's the biggest thing for us, right? Neither one of us have owned a cigar lounge before. Just the short answer to your question is neither one of the owners have owned cigar lounges before. But we have a network of people that have been in the cigar community for an exceptionally long time, and then also people that have owned cigar lounges as well. We have a strong, if you don't mind, I want to use the word coalition, right? A coalition with some of the other owners, right? Which is part of that being able to figure out, hey, what's our branding? How many facings do we need to have from a particular manufacturer or from a distributor in order to put in space? We are not opposed to outside of the box thinking when it comes to anything. There's a line, there's a line that fits in our vision. If it fits in our vision with that outside of the box thinking, that's what we want to try to evolve.
So with this, when you start this process, right? I know in your mind you probably had like it's going to be like this, it's going to be like that. Like, what's that one thing that surprised you through this process? Like you weren't anticipating. That kind of like, wow, I didn't expect that to happen or expect this to be that way.
Great question. For me, with regards to my swim lane for the cigars, it was tied around the availability of being able to get product, right? And being able to get product from a manufacturer versus getting product from a distributor and then getting product from a wholesaler. Those three different areas that I didn't think it would be as much of a challenge as it is. And that's the biggest surprise that we've had. Being able to differentiate and then build those coalitions with those manufacturers and those distributors. That's been the biggest thing. That's been the biggest surprise for me.
Jay Ferg, before you go on, man, let me give a couple shouts out to some people that are on with us. And because I can't show the viewers right now, but Robert Dash, appreciate you for joining in. Eric Willard, thank you for the comment. Coalition, not competition. Well said. Appreciate you, my brother. Always been a great supporter. Appreciate that. Valerie Valeria Maddox, appreciate you coming on and watching. Craig Clinksdale, man, you've been with us from the beginning. Appreciate you. Ivy Ferry, hey girl, what's happening, my little sis? Erica Robinson, what's up, sis? Shanta Marshall, appreciate you. Chester Waters, my man. Cigars 210, appreciate you. Brother John Edwards, hey man, always a great supporter. Appreciate you for supporting the Smoking Jacket broadcast. D, Cigar Goddess, what's going on, girl? How are you? Appreciate you coming on. Noble Pickens, appreciate you, man. Evelyn Dent, what's up, little sis? What's going on, Bill? Bill Volante, what's happening, man? Appreciate you coming on. Jimmy, Boy Groves, Kennedy, what's going on, man? We got to fire that Harley up one day, get on it and make it ride. This weekend would be good. Shelly Miles, what's happening, little sis? Kay Armstrong, what's going on? Candace S, watching, appreciate you. Tanya Brown, appreciate you. Chris Walton, Glenn Hardy, hey, man, what's going on, man? You got to come up here and do some of these ribs one day. Kia Watts already mentioned you, and appreciate y'all coming on. Just had to give a shout out to some of the viewers that's on and watching. Appreciate the comments. We're going to get this situation for the comments that we can post and like to post. Do me a favor, share the post if you will. Jay Ferg, you got anything else, man?
That's it for now. I'm gonna let Rob jump in there and grab some of these questions. I don't want to take none of Rob's questions away.
Yeah, man, Rob, big Rob.
Hey Jay, if I could put one last thing on that great question you had earlier, right? In no way am I or my other two partners experts, right? But we want to make sure we got the right people around us, right? I took that business model approach from Magic Johnson, right? You don't have to be the smartest person to have the smart people around you, and that's really what we're trying to do.
So, Rob, before I get to you, I got to speak on that because any sitting president has never been president before, but yet they feel that they can run this country. There's a first for everything. Cigar lounge owners, and even that, you can have great knowledge on it. There's a lot of people that have great knowledge about cigars but have not ventured in or have not had the resources to open up their own cigar lounge. It's boldness, it's a step, it's a process, and for some of the things that you may not know, but you hire the right people around you to build your brand, to help you build your vision, and to give some of the and add to the knowledge that you may not have. And that's one of the things as I listen to him, he may not have everything but he's building a team to get the right knowledge around him to help promote the vision that he's trying to promote, and that says a lot. So I appreciate that. Rob, what's happening, man? You making that ride from Philly?
Yes, sir. I decided to pull over and just drop in real quick and see how everybody's doing.
Would you at a rest stop, man? Please tell me you ain't on the side of the road, man.
It's good to see all of you. Yeah, I'm someplace safe. You know what I mean? I'm not driving. I pulled over. So, I did a responsible citizen thing.
Well, one thing about it, if you ain't no place safe, I know you're going to be safe.
Oh, I'm safe no matter where I go. I just make sure that, I try to stay out of the way if I can help it.
I know that's right. That's his favorite line right there. I'm just trying to stay out the way. I
Yes,
might
sir.
use that sometime. All right, Rob, what you got, man?
Well, first off, I want to start off by saying thank you to you, Mr. Petworth, my host, and my co-host, the beautiful and necessary, and of course, Mr. Jay Ferg himself. You know what I mean? Destination Herb coming up next month. Make sure you head up to Miami and check it out. You know what I mean? I just want to say thank y'all for having me on. Mr. Jay, I want to say thank you for coming on the show and showing us Invictus II. You know what I mean? For getting your brand out there and giving us a little bit of your time. I know how busy you are. You could be running your shop, you know what I mean, and making things shake, but you're here with us, so we appreciate that. I just want to let you know that.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Great. One of my questions for you is this: what is it about Invictus that made you want to choose that particular spot? Is it the name? Is it the clientele that used to be there? Is it the location? What is it about you and your partners that made you guys choose to go with Invictus as opposed to going and picking out a new spot and setting up your own shop all over again? I mean, this is your own shop, don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is what made you choose this place as opposed to, starting someplace else?
So I got a couple of answers to that, right? Again, right, in building the business plan that we were able to present to the bank, for lack of better words. Location was like the top three, right? And then in addition to that, right, I mentioned earlier about the cost analysis, cost benefit analysis that we use to figure out, hey, is it more beneficial for us to call this some other brand new place? And we were looking at some other names like Loose Leaf, Burnt Loose Leaf, some other names that we had that we were looking at, and then we said, hey, look, let's figure out if this actually history, right, the past performance of the place kind of gave us an indication that, hey, this place is right for a cigar spot. It was already in place, looking at how the ventilation was working and everything that's associated with what it would take to open this place up. All those things went into the factors for us figuring out, hey, one, keep the same location, and then two, tied to, hey, actually doing and keeping the same name. That look, we had a couple of votes on that, and then we rest on it, and then we came back and had a couple other votes. And then, to be quite honest, right, if we're being full transparent here, we said, hey, let's do it. Let's keep the name Invictus, but obviously we're going to make it Invictus 2. I don't know if you can see our signature wall back here, or you can see the actual.
Scoot over this way a little bit. You can see that.
Yeah.
You can see it. Matter of fact, let me do this right here. Most important. There it is, right there.
So yeah, you can see that, right? That's kind of our signature wall, right? The talking point that we want to make sure people understood that, hey, this is Invictus 2. The name itself had a lot of brand recognition, and in that, right, we said, hey, let's make sure that the narrative speaks well to new owners, new partners, new business, a new approach. And so we thought that was to our advantage to do that. And worst case scenario is if it doesn't work, we'll rinse and repeat and we'll figure out some other approach. And right now it's been going exceptionally well. A lot of people that come, I've been, obviously spending a lot of time here, and a lot of people come in and say, hey, we're glad you're back open. And, without being arrogant or without having any kind of negative connotation to it, I said, we're not back open. This is a new opening. This is a new business with a new business model, with a new business approach. So we knew those questions were going to come. We figured 30-second worth of narrative, and then your experience is going to let you know this is a new business and this is a new approach.
Bro, you got anything else, man? Before I go.
Yeah, absolutely. Just real quick, and that was a great answer, by the way. Thank you. But real quick, when it comes to someone owning a lounge or opening up a cigar spot or something like that, I'm very interested in getting to know the people that own the spot. Like Mr. Petworth with Petworth Cigars, and of course Raj with the Tinderbox, and Doc with Privilege. I want to get to know the people, Jay Ferg with Destination Herb. I want to get to know you as an owner. What is it about cigars that you like so much? What made you want to approach this as an entrepreneur with your co-workers and your other owners and make this a profitable business venture? What brought you into this section in this part of your life?
Okay, so enjoying cigars is probably the number one thing, right? And the second thing that's tied to me personally, right, as one of the owners is I've managed troops, 300, 400 people at one time. And I've also done that in a combat environment as well as in garrison. And then also I'm a senior program manager with, again, one of the premier corporations that provide as the number one IT provider, for the federal government. And so doing that, right, my personal approach, and I don't know if it's my arrogance or not, but I think I can manage anything. If there are people involved and then there's processes and procedures in place, I think I can manage anything from a packing house up to a large corporation, right? Even in my day-to-day job, right, I manage $140 million portfolio. I got people that work for me all over the world. And I'm saying for me, and I use that loosely because I work with them, right? And it's my job to move barriers out of the way so that they can be successful. just like here, even with the bartenders, making sure that they have the right glasses. Excuse me. And making sure that we let Tanya know that she's the bar manager and that she has that autonomy, and that we're here to help promote her and help make sure that she's successful with our bartenders, with our hostess, and then just fostering and establishing those relationships with the distributors, with the manufacturers, as well as with the liquor people. I hope I answered your question, Rob. I think the short answer to your question is, hey, just the enjoyment of cigars and being in an environment like this. The second thing tied to that is being able to manage. I personally, again, I think I can manage anything, and anybody and any people. Right? To me, the art of that is influencing people to be able to do the job or the mission at hand. And I think that once we understand what our business model is and the approach that we're taking forward, I think now we just put those processes and procedures in place. That is not to slight the other two owners at all. Eric is a fantastic school teacher to be able to deal and help shape and form young minds. I think that's absolutely what he brings to this conversation to the table. And then Mason Arthur, who is he has his own DJ business as well. I think him being in the military, I think all of us, once all three of us got on the same sheet of music and carved out what the vision is and what the approach is, I think if we stick to that, that's a formula that I think is going to be successful for us.
Outstanding. I tell people all the time, you'd be surprised what a person with the right attitude can accomplish.
Yep.
You'd be very surprised at that. But thank you very much for your answer and your time. I appreciate that.
No, Rob, I appreciate that, man. That was an absolutely great question, man. Because, like you said, what's the thrust here? What's the passion? And that's it right there.
Well, let me say this, and I appreciate your answers, definitely on point. To piggyback on what Rob said, and when he said cigar lounge owners, etc., you get to know them personally. And as Mr. Petworth, and let me make this clear, I am not at Petworth anymore, and Diane Hope is the owner of Petworth. That's another story. I was the brand of Petworth. Bill Petworth, named Petworth, Mr. Petworth, I will always remain. It's heading in a different vision and different avenue, and sometimes when certain relationships dissolve, we'll talk about that on the next show, not in a condescending or negative light, because one thing about this is, we're not slamming nothing. I know what I've done. Know what I did for the Petworth brand, and sometimes when relationships dissolve, then and it's no conducive for your vision and and I'm gonna say even for your health, you move on. And so much success to that. The Smoking Jacket broadcast will continue. I am still Mr. Petworth, and Mr. Petworth I will remain. But we're not here to talk about that right now because it's not about me. It's not about Petworth. It's about Invictus II. But let me do this real quick. Let me take you on a quick tour. I'm going to use my phone. I'm going to add my phone to the stream just to give you a little bit of the vibe of what's going on now, and so that we could get our broadcast in it, and so Invictus II can move on to host their customers and get this NFL game going. And that the customers can enjoy their time at Invictus II as they already are. And man, I appreciate the willingness of the customers to just, indulge us. Oh man, they know what we're doing here, and they're quiet, idle chatter. And man, we don't want to take away from your revenue. So let me do this and add this to the stream real quick. And give me a second. And Jake, as I do this, man, what I would like you to do as I take this tour around the lounge, just explain, what's going on and what they're looking at. They'll be able to still hear you. I'm going to put it on solo.
So you see there, Chris is what we call, this is our chalkboard, right? It's a wall that's painted with chalk. We want to be able to, put some narrative on there and let people know, hey, if you're having a special event here, we'll be able to call you out, be able to say, welcome, Mr. Petworth to Invictus Cigars. It's one of those things where, it's an easy rinse and repeat for us. We can change the narrative on that. We can change the face of that. We can put the expectations for us to get an artist, a local artist here, to be able to put some drawings on there. Simple, small things that we can erase and then go with next. Really, that's you'll see that it's just I call it an accent wall. I take a little pride in that because I did paint that piece myself. We had to outsource the other pieces for painting, but I was able to do that for myself. And then right there, you'll see behind our bar there, you'll see the area. And then again, that's our signature piece. The Invictus II, we had John Taylor III. Exceptional craftsmanship with that, and then be able to get the lights inside of that. And you'll see there, if you look at that really closely, if you didn't recognize that, but that is in fact the Roman number 2. And within that, you'll see that we have some of the higher end scotches, some of the higher end cognacs in there. And those are for sale. Those are for our customers. They're not just for show. And then you'll see Tanya there. She's our bar manager, to be exact. So she has autonomy over the bartenders and the hostess to being able to train and everything. And then you'll see that we were able to get, this is some of the bar that was already in place. We changed the sinks around in order to be able to give us a little more functionality, from on the back wall. And obviously with the counter, we had to go through and trench the floor in order to be able to get the drainage going through. And again, you'll see Tanya. She looks like right now she's making what is turning out to be our signature drink here. And I say that not because we said that's going to be our signature drink, but people have been asking for these smoked old fashions left and right. And you see here really quick, that's almost perfect time. I don't know if she did that, but she's getting ready to do that right now. They're standing behind us, right? And so really what we do there is we kind of infuse the libations with a number of wood chips that we have. Pecan, cherry, oak. There is pecan, cherry, oak. We have a peach. There's about 4 or 5 other ones that we have as well that you'll see that we're able to use. And we specifically got this device because a lot of those smoke devices give you the optics, but doesn't really do a lot of infusing inside of the actual drink itself. And so that's one of the reasons that we wind up doing that. And you'll see that the cocktail there is going to be able to hold the block ice that we have. That's one of those things that we wanted to make sure that we were able to offer that. Again, I harp on that because I think I consider myself a virtuoso of the libations. So having the right drink with the right ice and the right glass, I think makes a world of difference. Yeah, it looks like it's going to hold real fast, right quick, and then Tanya's going to be able to get that thing going. You'll see how aggressive the smoke is and how it does in fact do the infusion. She's on her way finishing that. So if you come here, or when you come here to Invictus II, you'll be able to see that. In addition to making a fine cocktail, we're able to get that drink infused with the smoke flavor that's going to really enhance that drink. It's going to open up all those notes that the craftsman was trying to do and trying to get established with that actual libation itself. And again, right, it's more than optics of just having it in a canister. It is, as you can see, it is really infusing. It is infusing that with. And like I said, our customers have driven or are driving what this actual drink actually turns out to be, because we didn't set out and say, hey, we're going to make this our signature drink. We're responding to what our customers are asking for. Optics of that, bringing that and sitting that on the table, and the next thing you know, hey, what is that? And I want one of those over here. You see that? The cube dice and everything on there. Yeah. Those have turned into thinking that we were going to wind up getting something that was more of a Hennessy and more of a Tito's kind of a drink. We are really turning that into becoming our signature drink. I don't know. That one's for you. Perfect.
Thursday. There you have it.
Awesome.
Good job, Tanya.
Good
Thank
job.
you.
Thank you.
See ya.
Awesome. When you come back, she'll let you know how it tastes and how it feels. So here's our lounge. Roughly, we can get 90 people in here. As you can see, we're spaced out and comfortable for people to be able to sit down and relax. And we do have pipe music that's coming in. We don't have the music on right now. I don't know. And then here's the front door. To the far right, you see we have Greg is one of our hostess who's working the front area right there. To the right, you'll see that there we have a selection of cigars with our primary manufacturers and also with our distributors. You'll see there on the left-hand side, you'll see the Rocky Patels, and you see that we have the Action, the VSGs, and also in the middle there, you start seeing some of what the Oliver B's are, and then some of that primary cigar that we had, the Legal Bravado number 9. And then and then we do have Padron with the anniversary series as well. And then the 7000 is turning into what would be, I guess, considered to be probably one of the highest demand cigars that we've had for a while. And then we also have the Shaggy Fit as well. Huge demand for that. People, every time they come in, every other third person is saying, hey, where are those? You see how people are just kind of relaxed and in their own environment, able to talk and communicate. We have a total of 7 TVs in here that you can actually see any game, any sporting event you got to have. We'll make some adjustments here so that you can we can do the podcast here, signature block, and then people in the back area as well.
What's your capacity?
Capacity is 88. We can get 88 people in here. That was obviously that whole startup thing and being able to get the fire marshal and everybody in agreement with that. That's what we might have had today.
Well, there you have it. Hopefully
Very
that
nice.
I don't know
Nice to
how
have.
it did it.
Thank you.
But I actually think that the humidor is a great improvement. Eric Willard, to answer your question, that probably is the best I've seen the humidor previously, especially with this new opening Invictus 2. Certainly a great, impeccable selection that you've, I mean, really, I think you outdone yourself in this short time, and especially during this soft opening stage. So, man, I'll take my hats off to you, man. And look, don't let nobody deter you. Don't let nobody stop you. And keep moving. And look, man, at the end of the day, you got my number. I'm here to help.
I appreciate that. Absolutely. We will be calling them.
No problem. Look, success. Black-owned businesses, not just black-owned businesses, but this new opening, new beginnings, cigar lounges anywhere and everywhere. And we have one job to do: support how we see fit. Don't be judgmental, and don't knock the next man down on what they're doing and what they're trying to accomplish. So, on that note, as we get ready to close and Jay Free, you got anything before we close, man?
No, all I want to say is good job, man. Spot looks amazing. I'll be sure to check it out when next time I'm in the DMV. I'll come by and check you out, man. But it looks amazing. Good job.
Thank you, Jay First. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Vanessa.
I just want to say congratulations. I know it's a soft opening. It feels like a soft opening. It feels like it's fully open. And I look forward to coming back for the grand opening.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much.
Meeting everybody.
Absolutely good invite.
Big Brown.
Yep, absolutely.
What you got, man?
Just want to say that, I wanted to say congratulations as well. The spot looks absolutely amazing. A hell of an improvement. I mean, the humidor, you've outdone yourself because check this out. You know something that I saw? A lot of room for more shelves and more cigars. So expansion is every bit as important as a good business model. Y'all on your way. So matter of fact, y'all on your way so good, I'll see you in 30 minutes.
Awesome. Come on down, Rob. Got it.
Is that right?
Good call, Rob. Appreciate it.
All right. Hey, look. My closing and final notes and remarks, man. Look, Jay, to you and the other two owners, man. Congratulations. Wish you much success. We're here for you. We will definitely be at the grand opening broadcasting live and making sure that we promote and put the proper message out there on what Invictus 2 is all about. Look, again, I am Mr. Petworth. Mr. Petworth, I will always remain. And hey, say what it is, but we'll talk about that soon enough. Next show, we'll talk about my next venture, my next moves, and where we're going with the show, where I'm headed, and what's to come. So once again, appreciate everybody for coming on. Appreciate your time. Do me a favor, share the broadcast, get it out, let them know Invictus 2 is making their move, making their mark, and support as you see fit. And we thank all of you. Share the broadcast, share it, get the word out. And man, we looking forward to great things. Man.
Awesome, man.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate
All right.
it. Absolutely.
Vanessa, appreciate you, girl. Look at that trip. And look, I am Mr. Petworth. Until the next show, we will be broadcasting again on the first Monday of the month of January. I got to make sure, I'm not in Miami then, so we'll be broadcasting and location to be announced. All right. So again, thank you all for joining. I'm Mr. Petworth, Mr. Terry, Jay Ferg, and Big Rob. We are the Smoking Jacket broadcast. I will see y'all second Monday of the month of January. Peace.